This is Black Re-Education TV, where we're stepping back from the brink towards a more meaningful future. With our theme verse being, Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So if your ancestors were scattered via the transatlantic slave trade or the Mohammedan Arabic Islamic slave trade, then you are the children of Almighty. Sunini Nanini Samandla, the mighty one of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Oh yes, Black history. The study of the Bible is Black history. And so you're welcome tonight. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Share the link to everyone. And let somebody know tonight that you are connected to the show. We give him all the praise. We give him all the glory. We give him all the honor because he is due all the praise and all the honor. Oh yes, share the link and text a friend. And after the show, make sure you follow us on all the channels. It is on Telegram Live, it is YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and the recording is uploaded on Bantu. You are welcome tonight to the show. All praises to Almighty Sunini Nanini Samanda. We give him all the praise and all the glory.
Waking up the Bantu from sea to sea. Black Re-Education TV. Waking up the Bantu from sea to sea. Black Re-Education TV.
The children of Cain, that's Cain, seed in Genesis 10, 2 through 5, insane. You disguise your father of lies in the image of JC. You put those graven images in Africa, go see. You resurrected your father Cain, oops, we see you in the image of that beast. You got my people trapped in your Jesus, God, and your priest. So please help your people see. They are trapped in those pagan gods they worship on their knees. So please help your people see. They are trapped in those pagan gods they worship on their knees. JESUS add together, then multiply by 9 equals 666. The mark of the beast, you can't hide, oops, not this time. Jesus, Cain, Lucifer, a 1, 3-dimensional lie. Isaiah 14:13 told us you wanna be above the Most High. Our brother Nkosi not crack your Jesus code. We thank so Nini for Elder, he's so bold. The Greeks, the Romans, the Vatican, the Vatican. Most High said, with humble and pray. Seek his face, repent, turn from your wicked ways. He will hear from heaven, forgive our sins, and heal our holy land. He keeps his shield of love on us, redemption plan. It's a three-dimensional deception by the Roman Gentile nation. It's a three-dimensional deception by the Roman Gentile nation. It's a three-dimensional deception by the Roman Gentile nation. It's a three-dimensional deception by the Roman Gentile
We love to praise our holy King. Loves to hear us praise his name. We keep his laws, that's why we sing. Praise his name, holy King. Ooh.
We thank you for teaching us your ancient names to shout and sing, and we proclaim we reject the pagan gods from that wicked one, like that JC God, religious prison. You use JC as a military strategy to rob and rape Africa, my melanated family. Galatians 3:14, your wicked plan. You wrote that law to justify stealing our land.
We love to praise our holy King.
Over to Mary, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
Loves to hear us praise his name.
Cheneke, Modimo, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
We keep his laws, that's why we sing.
So Nini, na Nini, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
Praise his name, holy King. Ooh.
That's Africa in Genesis 12:2 and 3, and Abraham's wealth for his black family. Abraham is not a J-E-W or brew. Cancel ISIS, Ra, and L, they wanna give to you. Then say anti, you know what I mean. That's the synagogue of Satan, they can never be redeemed. They are vipers, yes, with their Vatican brothers. Psalms 83, they work with one another.
We love to praise our holy King.
Over to Mary, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
Loves to hear us praise his name.
Cheneke, Modimo, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
We keep his laws, that's why we sing.
So Nini, na Nini, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
Praise his name, holy King. Ooh.
Vipers, you created your gods in your tetragrammaton box. So Nini, na Nini, N-I, you tried to mock. You tried to mock. Vipers, you created your gods in your tetragrammaton box. So Nini, na Nini, N-I, you tried to mock. You tried to mock. Oops, we see you.
We love to praise our holy King.
Over to Mary, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
Loves to hear us praise his name.
Cheneke, Modimo, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
We keep his laws, that's why we sing.
So Nini, na Nini, Tata, and Zombie, praise the Most High.
Praise his name, holy King. Ooh.
Tetragrammaton, a systematic word used by the nations to transliterate so Nini, na Nini into N-I-N to create pagan gods. Listen up, Babylon, Babylon, falling, falling, Babylon, falling down, down. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. Deception, and still and plagiarized. Took our scrolls and your name, changed the books, that's your game. My black people in your religious beast, drinking blood at your feast. Leviticus 17:10, abomination, you fallen angel blood generation. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. Deception. Deception. We denounce Jesus, Yah and Allah from your Tetragrammaton and Kabbalah. Read Deuteronomy 4:28. Gods of wood and stone he hates. The Arabs took Africa in the north. Your brother, the fake people, gave you support. Britain took Africa in the south, killed millions of Africans all throughout. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. Deception, kill, steal, destroy. It's in your DNA, blood you enjoy. Deception, kill, steal, destroy. It's in your DNA, blood you enjoy. This Euro-Asian Arab system designed to keep us in submission. R1A, R1B, cursed. That genetic family, read Genesis 3, verse 14. Then go to Genesis 10:2 and 3. The fake people are the big brother. They fought many wars against one another. The big brother in the fake land. He calls the shots. They follow his command. Black people fall back is not your plight. They divvy up their money after they fight. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. Deception, kill, steal, destroy. It's in your DNA, blood you enjoy. Deception, kill, steal, destroy. It's in your DNA, blood you enjoy. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, crooks. The big three, perverted our books. The fake people, oops, hide behind the scene. They lead this Luciferian team. The chosen of Kobe ain't no Jew. He ain't no Israel, he's a Bantu. Revelation 3:9, bow to your knees. So nini, he decreed. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. They run Babylon, Babylon is done. Christianity, Islam, Judaism won. Deception, kill, steal, destroy. It's in your DNA, blood you enjoy. Deception, kill, steal, destroy. It's in your DNA, blood you enjoy. Deception. 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 Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so nini, most high. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so nini, most high. You forced your religions on us from your father of lies to trap, lock, and keep us in a spiritual demise. Scattered, lost, confused, that's what the nations did to us. And so nini, yes, resurrected, we tried. You tortured our ancestors in Africa, holy land. Enslaved us with your gods, Africa, don't you understand? They bewitched us with their religions, controlled our minds to separate us from Sonini by design. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so nini, most high. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so nini, most high. Our savior in the scriptures is an African man. Ha! He's it to the core. Cain, trash, canals, bloodshed you enjoy. Get out of Africa, you kill, steal, destroy. You African puppet leaders love to obey your colonizers. The love of money, forsake your people, you know they are liars. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so ninny, na ninny, most high. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so ninny, na ninny, most high. In Matthew 10:6, Macinda seed came for a Kobe to bring his people back to so ninny, na ninny. Eli, Alama Sabatani, a Bantu language, and it doesn't mean forsaking me. Liar, you're going to the fire. The bond to he would never forsake. We are his desire. Read about us in Deuteronomy 7:6. We are a special people to him. Ubuntu, one stick. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so ninny, na ninny, most high. Wake up, open your eyes. Wake up, open your eyes. Return to your father, so ninny, na ninny, most high. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up,
So Nini, you're perfect.
Thanks to Nini Nalini for breaking down every obstacle in the path to the redemption of his people. And we join the prophets that said, therefore the redeemed of Sunini Nanini shall return and come with singing unto Zion. That's what they said in the Bible. But we know it's Jerusalem. It's this.
Paradise, 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 paradise. Ingefuna ukuya Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Ingefuna ukuya Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Yeah, I wanna go to paradise, where the roads go and the weather's nice, where the Salem ain't on fight, no moon or sun, cause you be the light, way truth the light. So many na nini, Tata is on me, mighty one over Kobe. Out New Egypt, you gon' lead us. You the one to redeem us. You love us but don't need us. Fast action, you gon' free us. Yeah. I can hear the shaking of the bones. All cause the one on the throne. A Kobe, yeah, we go home. So then please take us home. Eat paradise, eat paradise, yeah. Eat paradise, eat paradise, eat paradise, eat paradise, eat paradise, eat paradise. Ingefuna ukuya Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Ingefuna ukuya Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Yeah.
Okay. Greetings tonight once more. In the precious name of our Father Almighty, Sunini Nanini Samandla. He is the mighty one of Abraham, the mighty one of Issachar, and the mighty one of Akobi. Welcome to the show tonight. For those who are joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're joining us from the Pacific Islands, Australia, New Zealand, or from the troubled Arab, Asian, and European lands, you are welcome tonight. And if you're joining us from the Caribbean islands, North and South America, or even Antarctica, you are also welcome, welcome tonight. And if you're joining us from the most precious real estate on earth, the Holy Land, Al-Kebu land, Azania, the Promised Land, the land of Canaan, Sub Saharan Africa, the land of Sarah and Haran, the land of Abraham and Sarah. Welcome. Welcome tonight. Welcome to the new series, Africa is the Holy Land. The drive to label Abantu as Israelite. The drive to label Abantu as Israelite. And that famous question, who are the Jews? Tonight's installment, who are the Jews? Last night I said that the label, the drive to label us Abantu as Israelites is one from a deliberate standpoint and another from a position of lack of knowledge. And so the deliberate position are those who know why they're trying to do it. And so they continue with that agenda. And the other side is those who through ignorance are mislabeling us, like our Hebrew Israelite brothers. And so tonight, we want to examine the question, who are the Jews? And to answer this question directly, we have to take our leave and travel in time, travel back in time to a place called Khazaria. We have to go back to that place that existed a while ago, that is not spoken of very often in these times because of the desire to create a disconnect with this location. They want to create a dislocation from Khazaria, because Khazaria represents the location and the origin of this empire, the empire of Khazaria. And as the poster clearly puts it to us there, let me straight away go in and bring the screen up so that we can start this conversation in the space where we get a better understanding. And I want to thank everyone for joining tonight in the new shortened version of the Black Re-Education TV show. And in this space tonight, we want to discuss an answer to the question, in the drive to label Abantu as Israelites. And there you see what an Israelite, who an Israelite look like and who a Bantu look like. You don't have to question who a Bantu is and who an Israelite is. And who are the Jews is the question tonight. Who are the Jews? And like I said, it takes us to Khazaria. I'll come back and read that. The kingdom of Khazaria and its vital role, or the vital role they played in the balancing of Christianity and Islam, or the Muslim religion. The kingdom of Khazaria was pivotal in creating the balance between Christianity and Muslim. In other words, it is that third religion of this trinity of religions: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. And so, in the medieval time, it played a balancing act. So you can't call, you're not, it wouldn't be okay for you to say that the children of Khazaria were Christians, or you wouldn't be able to say that they were Muslims. So they created a brand completely different, but equal to the other two. And this was Judaism. And so the Christians are Christians, the Muslims are Muslims, and you had the children of Khazaria defining themselves as the children of Judaism. Now, it's important that we, before we read some more, that we notice the physical location of the kingdom of Khazaria. It is between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, and then it steps into the space that you will want to call Russia. Sitting on the backside there, you also see a very common location that is mentioned very frequently in today's news: Kiev, the Ukraine. See, the Ukraine is sitting there. All of this empire here back in the day formed part of the Khazarian Empire. You hear about Crimea, and you hear about all of these locations in the vicinity of the Black Sea, or what would have been later, prior to that, called the Caucasus Mountains. And so it sits on the western side. We have the Byzantine Empire, which was part of the Christian version of things. And then we got on the other side, the eastern side, you have the Muslim version of things. And smack in the middle there was this empire that historians today seek to disconnect from normal history, because smack in the middle of Christianity and Islam was this Khazarian Empire. Just want to give you a brief history. So that's the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, in the area of Russia. Hence, we have the conversation taking place today. And hence, we have the very visible support for the Ukraine in certain areas, because there is a fight between Russia and Kiev, the Ukraine area. Now, that Khazarian Empire played host for children, the kingdom of Khazaria. In this kingdom, they then practice Judaism. They practice Judaism. While the others on the one side was practicing Christianity and the others were practicing Islam, this kingdom practiced Judaism. And it's the origin or the origination of what today you know as the kingdom of the Jews. You'll see for familiar emblems in this space. And this kingdom has produced many famous men. For example, Karl Marx originated in that space, in the Russian steppes. Lenin and Stalin, all politicians and communist politicians, you might want to say, but they originated in some of these areas. And a significant thing happened in this space. Russia decided that they were going to take control of this space, and it caused the people living in that space to be pushed, or as they say, scattered into other parts of Europe. And they moved deeper into the places like the Ukraine, deeper into places like Germany, and those that came far west, they came into Western Europe, and they became known as the Sephardic Jews. But this is the origin of this kingdom. This kingdom does not originate in the vicinity of Africa. It does not originate in what they create and carve out today as the Middle East. This is the origin of that kingdom. Like I said, and after Russia pushed against them, they came out into other parts of Europe. They came into places like the Ukraine proper, into places like Poland proper, into places like Hungary proper. They moved into those areas. That's why when you look on the poster that we have here, you will notice that they're a European group, subgroup. They are a European subgroup. They're not a dark-skinned African subgroup. This is the origin of this group. Remember, the question is the drive to label a Bantu, black people, as Israelites is both deliberate and, for some who participate in it, lack of knowledge. So these are the people, and this is where they originated from. And then one would wonder what has caused, and I asked the question in the book, Scattered But Not Lost, what has caused the people to want to abandon their identity? See, as a black people, we get labeled. We get labeled African American. We get labeled Afro-Caribbean. Some of us get labeled Afro-Latinos and Afro-Europeans and maybe Afro-Asians, and you get all the version. We've been labeled. We are not taking on those identity. We get labeled like that. But what will cause a people to want to completely abandon their original identity and their original location, their home, their land of origin, to take on a different identity? You and I could answer those questions in the privacy of our own thoughts. But there must be something that is going to want me not to be identified as Bantu or a black person. When there are other black people that look exactly like me, that share my DNA, that know that we all would have come from a common location, Africa, why wouldn't I want to be identified as an African? What will cause a people not want to be identified as European or play down the identity of being European for a unique identity that is different to the identity of the main subgroup? It is the reason why when we go into the scriptures, long before they were able to create the subgroups, the scriptures teaches us that there is a people in Genesis chapter 10 who fall into that subgroup. And it is difficult to extract those people from that biblical subgroup to which they subscribe to. All Europeans, all Asians, all Arabs are of one group according to that Bible that they all read. Everybody read this book. I want to take you to the book tonight to the book of Genesis for a brief moment before returning here, because we've got some things to read here. In the book of Genesis, they call it the book of the beginnings. Right up at the beginning, the scriptures put into perspective a group of people that no matter what they do following this, they cannot remove themselves. No matter what I do, I can name myself, or my parents can name me using Spanish, European, English names, Dutch names, whatever names they choose to put on me. Something sells me out. I'm a black man. It sells me out. It doesn't matter whatever you put on the others. The identity speaks volume. You know a European, and you know an Eastern European. And because of these attempts to divorce or to cut themselves off from the original identity, we will have to examine the very words that they use to change, as it were, their identity into something else. So the scriptures put everybody in their categories. And in Genesis chapter 10, it tells us that after the flood, the peoples that appear on the earth went into lands and lived there for generations. And their ancestors continue to exist in those spaces. So I come over to Europe, but I came from a place where my ancestors continue to exist. And try as I might to try and change my identity, change my name, bleach my skin, or whatever they do to try and help that process, I cannot change my genetic origin. And it's to this the Bible testifies. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah. Now the problem we have with some of these writings is that even in this book, they went in and tried to edit it to hide that identity. Why would the people do that? I don't want to change the fact that I'm a black man. I'm Bantu. I don't want to change that. You bring me over on a slave ship, I still don't want to change that. I can go into that space called Africa and I could identify somebody that looks physically like me, or one of my descendants, or one of my relations. It's very clear. And so Noah and Shem and Japheth, notice I'm jumping over Ham, because Ham has a theory connected with it, which I don't want to distract you from. Now, Noah is after the flood, and his parents were before the flood. And whatever his parents look like before the flood, and I mean, they took a very long time before the admission that the man they call Adam looked like me. They took a long time. And the reason is that the admission that Adam looked like me is creating a situation here that there are some people that don't look like me and don't look like Adam. I'm not going in tonight to discuss the origin of that. I'm discussing who is or who are the Jews. And I come to the Bible because it seems to be telling us a bit. But not before Zondervan. Zondervan, in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, in an attempt to hide the identity of his people, Zondervan resorted to the technicalities of the identity. It was Zondervan that declared that Ham is a father of black people. And in the same Zondervan, it told us that Shem is the father of black people as well. So two children of Noah are producing black people. And then Zondervan seeks to tell us that the third son of Noah, if he had 3 sons, that is, he is producing white people, Asian people, and Arab people. And this is the history to which we have been connected, a fake history. You see, the trouble is Noah's children, like Noah, is producing children like Adam because they're in the same lineage. And if there is a variation, it could be traced. It's very traceable. And that's why I said very clearly, let's go deeper and understand. Tonight, I'm not going down the line of Japhet for discussion, but to briefly say that the word Japhet that they translated has deliberately been translated Egypt by the Greeks. So Egypt is Greek for Japhet. And the reason for that is that they know that Egypt is black. And they know that Noah is black. And they know that Adam has to be black. But there is a people here that needed to juggle their identity. And it's to this we speak tonight. The children of Khazaria no longer wish to be identified as the kingdom and the children of ancient Khazaria. They are trying and seeking to carve out a new identity. And when you speak of history in this manner, you get labeled. But we will go down the road. So these children connected to Gomar and his brother Magog and his brother Medai and his brother Javan and his brother Tubal and his brother Meshach and his brother Tires seem to have one thing in common, a common ancestral DNA that is different to the ancestral DNA of the continent of Africa. I repeat, these brothers, not sons of Japhet, son of Noah, but these brothers, Gomar, Magog, Medai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tires, their ancestor must be different. In chapter 10, verse 3, it says, Gomar's son, the sons of Gomar, and he had 3 of them. And one of his sons' name is Kenaz. You can put in front of it Ashkenaz. Kenaz is another word for Cain. Yes, the Cain that killed Abel. Yeah, how did he come over the flood? And then, do they have children on this side of the flood? Of course they have. But Josephus and others couch this language in a way that you are going to question this piece of history from the standpoint that Kenaz, son of Cain, Kenaz, Ashkenaz, Raphath, and Togarmah are cousins to Magog, Medai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tires. They are cousins. They can't look like me because they're cousins there. They're not sons of Noah because they're going to look like me. And so they are not. And the family continued. the sons of Javan, one of the 7 sons here, Javan began to produce children. And Javan has Elishas, Tarshish, Kittim, and Diodim. We can identify these cousins of the children of Gomar, of the children of Magog, of the children of Medai, of the children of Tubal, of the children of Meshech, of the children of Tiras. All Europeans. All full-blooded Europeans. Though we recognize them as other beings here together like us, we cannot speak of them as biological brothers. But we can speak of all these children here, Gomar, Magog, Medan, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Teres, as biological brothers, producing children like Ashkenaz, Raphat, Togarmah, and Elishas, and Tarshish, and Kittim, and Diodim. All Euro-Asian peoples. All Euro-Arab peoples. This is not race. This is the exegesis, the exposition, or simply the breaking down of the genealogy that we read in Genesis chapter 10, from verse 2 to verse 5. See, the fact that the Greeks did not want to use the name Japhet or change the name Egypt to Japhet or Japhet to Egypt is testimony that they are hiding or twisting history. And then there is a theory, everybody came out of Africa theory. That is another smoke screen for hiding this history. See, Ashkenaz sells out everything. When you break up the word Ashkenaz and you see Kenaz as Cain, let me see if I can help you with that tonight. I often get a little bit of trouble when I don't put the preparation before. Kenaz. Let me just make sure that I'm getting the right spelling. Yeah, let me just go back to my slide. Kenaz. That's the word we're looking for here. In my reading here, Kenaz. That piece there, Kenaz. All right, son of Gomar, a Gentile. Let's go in and see what we're going to find here. Kenaz. You notice you cannot go. I just read from Genesis chapter 10, but you are not allowed to get back to Genesis chapter 10, because if you do that, Ashkenaz is going to be there, but Kenaz, which is a part of the Ashkenaz word, let's go in here and see who Kenaz is. Then you get to see what the translators were actually doing. Kenaz, a hunter. All right? Used 11 times in the Bible.
Strong's H, 7073. Kenaz.
That's the last part of the word. Let's look at this word now. Cain. See, this will bring us back to earlier Genesis. And so when we come here, we can pick any one of these and we go in there and we want to see this word Cain and all its derivatives.
Strong's H 7014. Cain. Cain.
That brings us to the word the Kenites. All right? Only used one time in the Bible, the Kenites. And if you go forward, you will find the Kenites, all in relationship to this child, Cain, C-A-I-N, or K-A-I-N. Right? Let's see what they have on the K-A-I-N. All right, we might not find it in this book because let's try the New King James Version. Same place, we'll get Cain. Let's see who is Cain. Just show you how the history, how the translators played around with these words. And so it leaves you to have to try and figure out what they're doing. See? The Kenites, age 7014.
Strong's H 7014. Cain. Cain.
So it's the same Cain is going to be Cain, C-A-I-N, 17 times, and the Kenites is the same Cain. All right? Remember the word we're looking at is Kenaz. All right? Back out from here. 714. Cain and Kenites. And so we have Cain spelled two different ways, but the Cain, the Kenites, and the Kenzites, they're all leading back to this Cain. Let's go and try Genesis chapter 15. I want to take you down to the last part of Genesis. Some scriptures that I tell you don't pay attention to yet. You see Kenites, K-E-N-I-T-S, that's the same Cain's children. Then you get the Kenzites and the Commodites. These three here are related, but not related to these. These are not Canaanites, not Cain, Kenites. These are Canaanites, different from Cainites. You see, K-E-N-I-T-S or C-E-N-I-T-S and K-A-N-A-A-N-I-T-S. And so these two words being put together in the same space want to give you the impression that these are interchangeable and one and the same. Let's see in this verse. Cain, this is 7 Kenites, 7017. Here.
Strong's H 7017. Cain. Cain.
Right. And then
second entry. Cain. Cain. Third entry. Keni. Keni.
Right. So when they're doing this creation of this Hebrew language, They're using the strategy of hiding this identity. The same Kenites, 7017, is linked to this 7014. And if you look at 7014, you would see in the bottom there, just the bottom there, you'd see under the word, you'd see when I point to the word, you'd see Cain and the Kenites. Cain and the Kenites. And if you remember the story of the first king of Abantu, Saul, his first task was to get rid of the Kenites and the Amalekites. And we're not going to go to the story, but Saul sent away the Kenites, which are those children there, and then he dealt with the Amalekites. And he lost the throne because he did not follow that instruction that was given to him from Samuel, from Sunini Nanini, that there are two groups that he must go and deal with, the children of Cain, the Kenites, and the Amalekites, the children of Esau that work with the children of Cain. All right. So the Kenites and the Kenites are related. And they're related to Kenaz. Because Kenaz is Cain. But if you see Kenaz as a son of Japheth, you are going to be twisted up, because Japheth is related to Shem and Ham. And therefore, if Noah had 200 sons, because he is Noah, they're going to get his DNA. And his DNA will make them look like Ham, look like Shem, look like Japheth, look like the Egyptians, look like the children of Sub Saharan. That's who they will look like, because Noah is a black man from West Africa. Shem is a black man from West Africa. It's the same man, they changed his name to become Melchizedek. Melchizedek is a black man from West Africa that went to the place we know today as the Holy Land in Sub Saharan. He went to Namibia, and he was the one living as the Prince of Peace. You remember the Prince of Peace that came out and bring bread and wine and give it to Abraham after he defeated those kings? That's Melchizedek. That's grandfather Shem. He was living in the Holy Land with Abraham. And so when you understand that geographic history, you will understand the misplacing of this history by current political leaders in the land of Israel, which we will have the transcript, and we will read that transcript as we go on in this teaching. So get the picture. Kenaz, the Kenites, is not related to Moses. They're related to Cain. Moses is not related to Cain, as you see here. Q-E-U-N-I is Cain. Any pronunciation there is Cain. That's not a relation of Moses. Moses is a black man that brought the black people out from Egypt. And so this part of the history, when you miss this, you can't get the rest right. Okay. Back to the Kenites. Back to the Kenites. The Kenites is the children of Cain. The Kenizzites is the same family. And the Kamodites is the same family. All related to Cain. All related to Genesis chapter 10. Kenaz. And that's why we know that this group here, after the flood, is the biological descendants of Cain, put under Japheth for obscurity, to hide them so you don't get to find them. Hence, the same reason why the kingdom of Khazaria, I'm going back to the kingdom of Khazaria, and this is just the beginning of the unfolding. The kingdom of Khazaria is not prominent anymore, and the people of Khazaria, or the children of Kenaz, after the flood, seeks to obscure their identity so the world don't know them as the children of Cain. But if you remember what we were reading a little bit, we're coming here again. In this scripture, it says, all these children referred to here, Gomer, Magog and the descendants, Medan, Javan and the descendants, Tubal, Meshach and Tiras and the descendants, are all Gentiles. They're all European nations. They are the children of Euro-Asia, Euro-Arab, that family. That's the DNA. The general gene pool of their DNA will answer collectively to this identity as Gentiles in the Bible. And that's why you see in Christianity, the term Gentile was used on us as a people. And we accepted, okay, I'm a Gentile. I remember when I was in Bible school, I did ask this question. Say, and there was a late great Pastor Smart. I said, who are the people that are living in the land of Israel? And he said, those are the Jews. And I said, who is everybody else? He said, everybody else are the Gentiles. And I said, Pastor, I'm not a Gentile. I don't feel like a Gentile. I'm feeling that those people in the book, the real people in the book that don't identify as me, I am that people. The people, the biological descendants of the people in that book that coming from Adam is us, it's me. He said, he smiled, those who know him with his deep dimples, he was smiling. He said, I don't know, right? And I've been on this. I'm telling you by the age of 15, 16, 17 area there while I was in Bible school. And so to come out at this stage and realize how deep this deception is requires us sorting it out. And that is why the confusion between the Israelite and the Jew and the Hebrew exists. It is not existing because there will be a solution in terms of changing their identity. They want this obscurity and confusion to continue to coexist, because for as long as it coexists, it does not expose the identity of the children of Cain, Kenaz, after the flood, which are all the Euro-Asian, Euro-Arab nations. None of those nations came out of Abraham, Issachar, and Jacob. And the DNA speaks to that. That's why the DNA does not answer to Sub Saharan, or even like Pharaoh Ramses III, who had the identical genes as the children of Sub Saharan, the children of Sarah and Haran, the land of Sarah and Abram. Haran is the brother of Sarah, the brother of Abram and Nahor. And Sarah is the daughter of Haran, Abram's brother. And that DNA does not originate in Europe, it's on the continent. Maybe one of the reasons why YouTube think that these teachings are too explosive and that nobody will want to put their ads on this. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the space of reality. Because here we analyze the scriptures and we provide the proof, unquestionable proof, that the Gentiles are the children of Gomer, Magog, and the descendants, Medan, Javan and their descendants, Tubal. If you remember Tubal from before the flood, and these names come true, Tubal Cain was responsible jointly with his father, Lamech of Cain, for the murder of their grandfather, the ancestor, Cain himself. If you remember the story, Tubal, Cain, and Lamech was hunting, and they saw an animal, the state or status that Sunini put Cain under as a beast. The same status he put Lucifer under as a beast of the field. And Lamech shot Cain at the guidance of Tubal Cain. That's a family name. That's a lineage. And that Cain lineage, Tubal, comes over into the Bible, translated unconsciously by European nations, many places. And so this family are the family referred to as the Gentiles. And they passed that Gentile lineage, they put it on somebody else. They labeled another people with it. And who was responsible for doing that? Christianity. Because all the two others were Gentiles. And Christianity sought to distance themselves from being Gentile, and then they pull in Abantu and call them Gentiles. And so you have conversation like there's no Jew, there's no Gentile, there's no bond, there's no free, there's no Greek, there's no, and this nonsense. This is a genealogical, this is an ancestral lineage that came down from time. The children of Khazaria are Gentiles. All the children listed in this space of Genesis chapter 10, verse 2 to 5 are Euro-Asia, Euro-Arab nations. Another marker is the presence of Neanderthal DNA in these groups that I don't need to go into tonight. But suffice to say that these children lived in the region of Europe, Euro-Asia. And this one we know, Ashkenaz, all of his brothers, his cousins, they all lived in the same space. Hallelujah. I bring you back to the slides because the scriptures say particular things about this space. In the book of Revelations, it says, make clear statements about the Jews. And that's why you would understand at the end of this series why it's incorrect for a Bantu, a person that looks like me, to define himself. It's okay if people want to label you, like they label us Gentiles. We are not Gentiles. We don't care. But if you want to label yourself Gentile or label yourself Jew, then that's to your detriment. But hear what the scripture says. I know thy works and tribulation and thy poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. Now this is where the confusion sits. They say they are Jews, but they are not. But in fact, they are the synagogue of Satan. So in other words, you can say either or because it's the same. It doesn't mean that you as a Bantu need to take up that identity. And behold, verse 3:9 is a little more clearer because it tells you that it's going to identify a second people group. It said, behold, I will make them and it shows you how you should use it, of the synagogue of Satan. It's the same identity, which say they are Jews and are not, for whatever that means. But they do lie. I will make them to come and to worship before your feet. You and other people that are not Jews, that are not of the synagogue of Satan, and to know that I have loved you. Not the synagogue of Satan, not those who call themselves Jews, but you as another people. He's saying, I will make them to come and to worship before thy feet and to know that I have chosen you. And so the mistake here is for you to think that you're a Jew. You're not a Jew. And you see, because I have chosen you, I have loved you, you now think that you are them. And that's what it is intended to do, to create for you a confused identity. And so, you go about and you want to put a qualification in it. You want to follow their mode because they call you African American or Afro-Caribbean. You want to call yourself now Bantu Jew, Black Jew, Israelite Jew. We're going to come to all of those words, Israelite and Hebrew, eventually. It's for you to understand that that's a misnomer. You cannot define yourself like that. And so this kingdom that we are talking about, the kingdom of the Jews, originated years before, like I show you layers of history in Africa, years before it was known as the kingdom of Khazaria. And the religion was Judaism. Not Christianity, to mix it up. That's why they don't get mixed up. And they're not Muslims. They are the third religion of the Vatican. That's how they settle up the story. Okay? You don't want to be classed as Christians. You don't want to be classed as Muslims. Okay? You are the Jews. Judaism, right? Settled. So now, none of these children here should have anything to do with us. But we got caught up in all of these religions. And hence the confusion. We became Christians, we became Jews, we became Muslims. But that's a religious identity. That's a religion. That is not a genetic identity. You cannot attach a genetic identity to a religion. And that's the mistake that was done. And it's deliberate. By those who knew what they were doing, it's deliberate. And those who, by lack of knowledge, got involved in it, it's by mistake, lack of knowledge. How do you move on from there? Then you go to genetics. You go to biology. You go to land. Because DNA connects you in reverse. You get L-A-N-D. D-N-A-L. L-A-N-D reverse D-N-A-L. DNA is connecting you to the land. The kingdom of Khazaria, that's where it is. No African looking like me could claim its origin there. That's where that origin is. You cannot say that is your land. I don't care how long you live in Russia. I don't care how long you live in Europe. You originated in a different continent if you look like me. And if you got there, it's because your ancestors were scattered there. When the Khazarian Empire, which we'll go into, we're going to be here for a while. Not tonight, but we continue on. When the Khazarian Empire was dismantled and broken up by the Russians, those people scattered. And their leaders today, their political leaders, Ashkenaz political leaders, is interpreting that scattering to mean across the whole world. And that is the biblical scattering. Nonsense. Nonsense. When this kingdom was broken up, they scatter among people that look like themselves. They went into Kiev, they went into Poland, they went into Hungary, they went into Germany. And those that came further afield, like the West, they became known as the Sephardic Jews. They came over there, and this set was the Ashkenazi Jews. They stayed on that side. And when they married, if these married into other people, they married it into the Iranians, and then they got the Mizrahi Jews, the Iranians, the Iraqis, and the others, and so on. And then when they get into India and they married over there, you're going to get like the Kashmiri Jews. And then they married, some of them married into people of my family lineage, black lineage. But you are your father's child. And so some of these children today are promoting this story that we are Jews, are promoting the story that black people are Israelites, are promoting the story that black people are Hebrews. Some of these black children are saying it. There's no conversation about Kashmiri Jews. That's very clear. There's no conversation about Iraqi Jews, Iranian Jews, Mizrahi Jews. There's no conversation. There's no problem. But those that came into the black part of it, it's those children that have a problem, and it's promoting the fact that because they are mixed, that they are Hebrew, black Jews, Israelites, and Hebrews. But your fathers are not. I hope you understand. And this is not intended to, though it might be offensive to others, it is not intended, it is said, let me tell you what it's intended for, to expedite and expose and exhibit the reality on the ground. The Khazars, when the kingdom broke up, they went deeper into Europe. As they run from Russia, run from the Caucasus Mountain, run from the area of the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea, they get deeper into, and they became Christians. At the Spanish Inquisition, they became Christians. They changed their names and took on names that sound like mine, because I was given English name, and took on names, Spanish names, took on names that remove their biological identity and replaced it with a linguistic identity, a name. But in nature, in DNA, they are the children of Khazaria that became Christians. It's the children of Khazaria that you see sitting in some of the Arab lands. They are children. They're Arab Jews that are sitting in the Arabias that you don't know. You're surprised when they side openly with their brothers in certain spaces. But they are the children. So this kingdom spread into Europe and took on linguistic identity of other Europeans like themselves. And when it was appropriate in the 1718 and 1900s, they began to create a religious identity, which means now they have to align themselves with some of the biblical names and then promote those names as the names of the chosen people. So you get names like Yahoo, Yah at the end. You get the picture. You go, you see them. All the things that you see in the Bible, you'll begin to see the names lining up with Isaiah and Yahoo. They will tell you that these are the children of Yahuwah, or Yahweh. These are the children of Israel. But to get there, they use the Bantu scrolls, which they change into the Bible. And then they use the Bible to create that identity. And the people of the book, Abantu, lost that identity. Because they cannot even be found in the book. I can't be seen in the book, except where Judas was, or where Simon of Cyrene was, fetching some cross. You understand? Outside of that, you can't find me. You don't know that my ancestors, they were the first kings on the continent. And that David, the man they called David, he was a black man on the continent. And Solomon, the man they called Solomon, Jedediah, he was a black king on the continent. In Islam, he's known as Suleiman. And this is what they did in the... And so we are opening up the conversation and exposing that the children of Khazaria, they are the architect of the religion, Judaism. The children, not a group of children of Europe, are the architect behind the religion of Christianity. Don't suggest that Christianity originated in Africa. Nonsense. I know you can't do that with Islam, but a lot of people on the continent are Muslims. So these religions originated in Europe, Eurasia. These are all Eurasian religions that began to push their tentacles out and invade. Christianity invaded from the south. Islam invaded the continent from the north. And if you can't get into the sea, if you slip out on any landmass, Judaism is waiting there in the so-called Middle East to collect you. You are flanked by these, but you are none of those. So don't identify yourself as any of those, because you are none of those. I'm trying to bring it down in a nutshell, but we're going to go deeper than this. So that's where the kingdom originated. If you go on the, if you can see it here, a piece of it still stands there. You can see the Roman Empire to the west, and then you get the Persian Empire to the east, southeast. You got Byzantine, which is another form of the Christian Empire, below there. And so this Turkish people, as the Encyclopedia Britannica described the area as a Turkish kind of people, converted in mass to the religion of Judaism. That's not biblical religion. While the others had Islam, that's not a biblical religion. If I want to say the Bantu scroll religion. And Christianity, which is not. So let me put it this way. Christianity is not a black religion. Judaism is not a black religion, and Islam is not a black religion. But we got caught in all of those religions. That's why religion is not a good thing for us. It diverts us from who we really are. So they stayed clear. The kingdom of Khazaria stayed clear of the involvement in the Holy Roman Empire. They stayed clear of involvement in the Arab religions. Don't know why it's not allowing me to write anyways. At the bottom here. Yeah, the Arab religion here. The brand that they accepted was this version of a religion that is similar. That's the Holy Trinity. It's now called Chrislam. Chrislam because it's a combination of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Chrislam. So it's made up of Euro-Asian people, and we bought into those religion. They have nothing to do with us as religion. Of course, we respect everybody. They're free. Everybody is free to practice what he wants to practice. But these are the groups that demonize who we are as a people. And they demonize our ancestors. They dug up their bones. They display their bones in museums. That's what they did with our ancestors. It's desecration of our ancestors. But if that is not good enough, they work together to obscure the identity, our identity. And today, we're still struggling. We're still finding ourselves, calling ourselves either Christians, Muslims, or we call ourselves Jews. When the fact is, we're none of these. These are all Euro-Asian connections from the children of Cain after the flood. All right. So I wanted to share that tonight because it is a foundation or the stepping stone for us to go in a little deeper into other things as we begin to unfold who are the Jews. So there's a foundation. They originated in the Caucasus Mountains. They are the children of Khazaria, and the ancestry can be traced back into the Russian steppes, into the Caucasus Mountain. And it is the same people that were scattered. Yes, they were. They were scattered into Europe, not the four corners of the earth, as the politicians would like to tell you. No, they went into Hungary. They went into Kiev or Ukraine. They went into Poland, and they went into Germany. Some came as far as England. And some went as far as Rome and became the popes of Rome. That's another conversation. They also became the popes of Rome. And so when you see them sitting there, they're not just Christian popes. The origin is from Khazaria. Because, as you see in Genesis chapter 10, it is the same family. It's the same family. Hallelujah. Tonight, I want to thank you again for coming in the chat room. May the Most High Almighty Sunini Nanini Samandla, the mighty one of Abraham, Issachar, and Jacob, continue to watch over us as we continue to experience his glorious redemption. And so, with that being said, I want to thank everyone for coming in the chat room. Thank you, and good night.
Black Education TV, waking up the Bantus from sea to sea. Black Education.
Okay, this is Black Education TV, where we're stepping back from the brink towards a more meaningful future. With our theme verse being, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So if your ancestors were scattered via the transatlantic slave trade or the Mohammedan Arabic Islamic slave trade, then you are the children of Almighty Sunini Nanini Samandla, the mighty one of Abraham, Issachar, and Jacob. Oh yes, Black history, the study of the Bible is Black history. And so you're welcome tonight. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Share the link to everyone. And let somebody know tonight that you are connected to the show. We give him all the praise. We give him all the glory. We give him all the honor because He is due all the praise and all the honor. Oh yes, share the link and text a friend. And after the show, make sure you follow us on all the channels. It is on Telegram Live, it is YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and the recording is uploaded on Bantu. You are welcome tonight to the show. All praises to Almighty Sunini Nanini Samanda. We give him all the praise and all the glory.
Waking up the Bantus from sea to sea. Black Free Education TV. Waking up the Bantus from sea to sea. Black Free Education TV.